Armored Core 6 right before we started recording.
Yep.
Got a release date of August 25th on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Armored Core 6 and Fires of Rubicon. And DDT Joestar wrote into us about this on Patreon. Says, good day, Colin, Dustin, and Chris. Glad you're all healthy and doing well. And just wanted to ask you guys for any additional opinions on Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. We've been blessed with a launch day trailer announcement showcasing a new entry with what seems to be the accessibility of Armored Cores 4 and 5 with the return of the difficulties of Last Raven and Ninebreaker in former titles, all while adding Sekiro weapon mechanics and gorgeous open areas and demanding boss battles. With the game dropping on August 25th, do any of you think you'll be giving it a shot? I respect Colin likes to keep things fresh and tends to avoid footage of what he's interested in, but please do let us know your feelings. Much appreciated for all that you do. Keep the health in mind when you do it. Thank you, DDT Joestar, for writing in. Dustin, I got to go to you first on this. What are your thoughts? Armored Core 6 from your beloved FromSoft, August 25th. I personally am not going to play it. I just know I'm not going to do it. It's just not going to hit me, I don't think. But is it something for you?
Oh, yeah. I loved what I saw in this trailer. Not that it was fully... I sometimes find it a bit annoying when companies release trailers that say gameplay trailer, and it does show you what the game looks like when it's running, but it's not indicative of what the moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yeah, there's no HUD.
And
it's not like actual. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but that aside, what we saw in this trailer, I thought looked absolutely fantastic. And the thing for me is that From Software, and I think in a wise decision, have gone out to make sure that people know that this isn't Dark Souls Armored Core or Dark Souls with robots. They've made that very clear, and I respect that. But
that would be so cool, though.
Oh man, that would be great.
That would be cool. That would be.
But to me, what the some of the small bits of this trailer show, particularly boss fights, where there's a lot of quickly dodging left and right and kind of circle strafing around a boss, and then they also mention Sekiro-like mechanics. That is really intriguing to me, in that I'm not expecting a Souls game, but for me, I want the feeling that I've gotten from playing From Software games of obviously very difficult, highly customizable in your character and strategy, but also this idea that every death and every victory feels earned, where you need to do what the game requires of you. There's very little wiggle room. And at the end, after the struggle, you succeed and you feel amazing. And I'm hoping that's what we get from this game. And I don't know. I think it's funny to see some Armored Core fans kind of, I don't want to necessarily call them gatekeepers, but even just some of the replies to my tweet where people were saying, man, From Software fans are going to be upset when they get this game and it's not a Souls game. It's like, do you think, sure, there are some Souls players that only play Souls that are not going to like this, but I think it's more true to say that Souls players just really like challenging games that maybe on surface level are really tough, but if you take the dedication to learn them, that they can become trivial because they just require a certain type of skill set from you. And so I would imagine that From Software spirit is going to be applied to this game and still be very appealing for Souls players. So I gotta admit, we talk about not pre-ordering. I did pre-order not the most expensive special edition, but the middle one, because I really want that robot figure that it comes with. Looks really cool. Obviously, if the game sucks, I can cancel it and buy a lower tier.
It's not going to suck. I mean, of course.
Yeah, it's not going to suck though. So, in this instance, I want the goodies and it won't always be there for me necessarily. So I went and pre-ordered it.
Yeah. Cool. Chris, are you down with the what game were we even talking about? I can't remember. Armored Core 6? Fires of Rubicon. I wanted to call it Mech Warrior.
Yeah. No, totally. I'm totally down. Whatever this is, I'm down for it. I like it's. I don't know, robots are a very specific thing for me where I really am attracted to very specific aesthetics of robot, or like specific aesthetics of like mech combat. And this to me is kind of that exact thing. The idea of like, there are mechs with like tank treads, you know, and they're like barreling through the street, and there's like jet streams flying out of their back at like sharp angles. I love that stuff that's like kind of like almost Gundam style. Except obviously a lot more like rustic and a lot more like muted and dire. I love it. The style, the visual style of it. I like it. I like that it's easy to read. I like that it's as detailed as it needs to be without going kind of like balls to the wall, unnecessary, like over detail. It's kind of like my problem with even just like multiplayer and Call of Duty nowadays, where it's like people blend in with the background because everything's equivalently hyper detailed. I dig it. Like whatever it is, I think it's going to be a very, very different experience from Dark Souls, but I'm totally down with that. Like I don't mind. In fact, I think it makes me more interested. So
one last comment.
Yeah.
I just want to, before we move on, shout out to this coming out in August. It was so exciting.
Yeah, that's great.
Obviously, we found out about it. What was that, at the Game Awards? But I like seeing a nice initial reveal, give it some time to marinate, and then you come out strong with a gameplay trailer and a release date that's not even that far away. I love that. This is like the ideal amount of time for this type of cycle for me. So very awesome. We've got a delicious meal of Final Fantasy 16 in June, and then back to back with 1 month in between, and then of course this in August. I can't wait. Glorious
day, my friend. I'm glad for you. August is a perfect time to release games. And that late summer window reminds me a lot of 2002. I think Super Mario Sunshine and Onimusha 2 both came out in that window, and that was like a really memorable moment because that was like my going into my first year of college.